Okay, I'm back, y'all, in Divine and Grateful Risings. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Real quick, child, look, Patrick God told me to come on here and share this word, so I'm come share it. And this literally, y'all, I had the craziest dream, right? And I was actually sitting here journaling and writing about my dream, and that's when God was like, "You need to go talk about this because this is not just for you." And so I say, "Okay, Lord." Child, I'm trying to get myself together and get my day started and all that good stuff, y'all. Don't be judging me. Anyway, I ain't even all the way woke yet, but he told me to come get this message, so here I'm is. Okay, listen. So let me tell you about this dream, y'all. I don't know what Patrick got doing, cause daddy, daddy, you know my sleep is so important on this. I already don't sleep well, y'all. Sleeping in the car, right? I don't sleep well. My head be on the swivel. So any little noise, it wakes me up like immediately. But needless to say, this was right this morning as the sun was coming up. And I heard, and so let me tell you about this dream. So I heard, I don't know where I was. I was at, and I was talking to some woman, and it was like she was helping me, but I could also tell that she wasn't quite telling me the whole truth. Like she knew something or she was withholding something. It was like a secret or something, right? I didn't know everything that was going on. But so, okay, so just stay tracking with me, okay? And so I was kind of communicating back and forth with her. And then it was like she was trying to help me get an apartment or something. I don't know, or get something. But like I had just paid for something, so I didn't have the money for it. So then she was just like, "Well, don't worry about it. Just come down here anyway to like the house or the apartment or whatever." And I was like, "Okay." So I got up, but I had been like, I wasn't dressed or nothing, y'all. Like I had been cleaning up and you know what I'm saying? Like really it was just in some regular old thrown clothes. I wasn't dressed up or nothing. And so she was like, "Well, just come down here anyway." Like I wouldn't, like I guess wasn't in nothing fancy. And so I went. And when I got there, there were like a whole lot of cars wherever this place was, this building. There were like a whole lot of cars there, a whole lot of people. So when I went inside, when I walked in, it was like all decked out, y'all. It was all decorated and just everything was like it's like a celebration. And so there were all these people lined up, but I recognized these people. I recognized that, you know what I'm saying? I had seen them at various points of my life. And so then it was like the final person. So these people just kind of started, but it was like I would see them and then they were gone. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't stay. And the last person, it was this man, and I knew who this man was, and he came up and he had on a suit and he had on all message, like he had on all these medals and he was all decorated and he had like this white suit with like these gold chains like on the lapels and the shoulders, and just like he was real fancy. And when I saw him, I like broke down and started crying, y'all. Like I see back to where I broke down and started crying. And and it was like my shoulder, I was just like it was just like this crying. I was just like, oh my gosh, like finally was kind of the feeling that I remember having. And then he never said anything. He just looked at me, and then because he had grabbed my hands and everything, and then he moved to the side, and I was like, "You too?" And so I was like, "Oh man." So then another man ends up walking up, like they were trying to keep me from seeing who he was. So he walks up, and I recognized him as somebody from my past, but it wasn't like anyone, come on, 444. It wasn't anyone like that I was expecting, right? And so it was kind of like reconciliation, but it was just like, oh my gosh, like you're the one kind of energy. And so, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it didn't end all nice and beautiful like it started, because it kind of started where, in front of everyone, he was like amazing. But then when we were by ourselves, it was like I was very affectionate and very, like, touchy feely, and I am. But it was like, not that he was rejecting me, but I remember saying to him, I was like, I'm very affectionate. And he was like, oh, okay, well, if you're going to be affectionate, you need to put some chapstick on. And I was like, my, and then, um, he was like, now mind y'all, I wasn't expecting to even be in this establishment wherever I was, and I had just been cleaning up and stuff. So he was like, and you need to take, he was like, he told me I needed to take a bath because I smelled like cleaning products. Anyway, I say, well, I was not planning on being, you know what I'm saying, inaugurated. I didn't know it was a celebration. She just said, come outside. So I came outside. Anyway, I don't know, child. But I asked Padre God about it. That I did. And so the last part of the dream before, and it actually, once that happened, I woke up. But the last part of the dream was I heard God very, very clearly saying to me, um, he was like, do you see all of the scorpions? He said, do you see all of the scorpions? And so I, of course, woke up after that, and I was like, well, I was like, now, scorpions. And so I went to look up to see if scorpions are in the Bible. And sure enough, guess what? They in the Bible. Come on, 8:13. Now, that ain't the scripture. He took me to Luke message. He took me to Luke this morning. Luke chapter 10, and Luke chapter 10 starts, it's talking about Jesus sends out his disciples. And so Luke chapter 10 and 18, it starts off and it says, yes, he told them, I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Look, I have given you authority over all the power of the enemy, and you can walk among snakes and scorpions and crush them. A mess. Nothing will injure you. But don't rejoice because evil spirits obey you. Rejoice because your names are registered in heaven. So I don't know who need to hear this message, because so much started coming through when I started reading this scripture. So first things first, he started talking about, some of y'all, that dream could have signified, because I just like, is it me? So let's just talk about what he was talking about, because this is what him said. Padre God said, for some of us, and I'm going to say us, because some part of this dream resonates in my spirituals and in my own life. He said, he didn't say I was removed from this. He said, share it. So some of us may be like, you may have some snakes and scorpions in your midst. And some of you have just overcome some, right? And I feel like God is in a season where he's getting ready to show us who these people are, like who the people are that you can't trust, who the people are who are trying to manipulate you, who the people are who are they're really your enemies and not your friends. And so that was part of what he was showing me this morning, that this dream is referencing. Is like, listen, you got some folks, some snakes and some scorpions around you, but don't trip about that. First of all, you protected. And second of all, it's like you have the authority to trample over them. So some of you have bested, beat, overcome, and they ain't gonna like it, like overcoming your enemies, and they no longer have like the same kind of, some of them, they were like manipulating your mind or trying to control certain things about you. And it feels like, oh, come on, spirit, it feels like you're breaking free from something. It feels like you're breaking free from the tactics. It feels like the enemy has been trying to keep you held down in certain aspects of your life. And now those chains are being released, those bonds are being broken. And so he's making you aware of who was being used and how they were being used, and how the enemy kept on repeating the same same cycles with you by using people, sending in counterfeits, sending in people whose intention was to hurt you, to harm, and how God actually came through and gave you authority over them, and how he's saying now you still have that authority. So don't worry about the people who are trying to go against you or what they're going to say or how they're going to look at you. We ain't got time for that. God has given you the authority that you have, and so you just need to keep that in mind. Okay. Look, I have given you authority over all the power of the enemy, and you can walk among snakes and scorpions and crush them. Like, look, didn't it say something about they just something said something about like the stomping on the head, the snake's head. I don't know, child. Okay, I'm back. But don't rejoice in it. Be like, y'all, you need to show compassion for your enemies. You need to show compassion for the people who have hurt you. Release them, forgive them with love. Do whatever you need to do. Like, send love to them, send love and light to them. Don't send anger, don't hold a grudge. Because for some of us, remember, if you watched the video yesterday, I was talking about the things we need to start doing to heal. And so the messages that God has given me to come through and give, telling y'all, look, the fool and the moon card, let these folks go with love, light, and healing energy. Release them with love, light, and healing energy so that you can move on. What do you need to heal? The pain that they caused you. I know that it hurts sometimes. It hurts when people do you a certain type of way, but you got to release these folks and release them with love. Release that pain with love. Thank them. Show gratitude for your experiences, because all it did was put you in a better position. You know what you won't accept. You know what you won't do. You know what you won't tolerate. You know, come on, death card. You better release these folks. The end is the end of that. We letting go of stuff, y'all. We letting go of traumas. We doing some healing around this thing so we can move into these new cycles and seasons. And we come on, High Priestess and the Four of Wands. For some of y'all, this is and the Tower. This is old relationships. This is people who you feel like wronged you. This could be exes, ex mama, ex lovers, ex wives, husbands, whatever. Baby, release these folks and let go of that pain and work on healing and asking God to help you heal that pain so that you can move to the next cycle. And for those of y'all that got some enemies in your midst, your intuitionals is getting ready to show you and tell you. And so pay attention to your dreams, because God may be revealing these things to you in your dreams and he's telling you to pay attention. Okay. That's it. I hope this helps somebody, Lord. I wasn't planning on giving no word, but when Padre God said, come over here and talk about this here dream, I said, okay, so, or let's do it, okay? Anyway, y'all, that's it. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul and things. Drink your water. Say your gratitude. Have a fantastic and amazing day in purpose, no purpose. And I'll see y'all on the next word. Love y'all in real life. Bye.